Welcome, Aries, to your Pisces new moon deep dive 1 month forecast for the ascendant, the sun, or the moon. I'm going to share with you the event chart, but purely from an Aries perspective. By the end of the video, you'll have a much clearer understanding of what the prospects are around relationships, finance, energy, and work over these next 4 weeks. I'm astrologer Patrick Arundell. A very warm welcome. If you've yet to subscribe to the channel, please do so now to help it to continue to thrive. So on the screen, Aries, is the event chart. And there is the conjunction between the sun and the moon, because essentially a new moon is a moon cazimi. The power of the sun, the king of the heavens, is merging with the power of the moon, the queen of the heavens, and their very complementary energies are integrated. And that's what provides the backdrop for the next 4 weeks. But what we've had over the last 7 months is a succession of 7 new moons at 28 degrees. Talk about that for synchronicity. And this is the final one. But because of that, it's right on the cusp of your zodiac sign. And of course, the sun with the vernal equinox is moving into your sign the day after this event, and we have the new astrological year. So that does add quite a lot of complexity. So we need to dive deep into this chart, and I can unpack this for you. What really calls out to me is the moon in Pisces is deeply sensitive. So it's amplified on its own terms. The sun being there as well obviously adds radiance, but this is the third and final decan of the sign of Pisces, which is subruled by your ruler Mars. So that brings a bit more passion to the equation. And ironically, your ruler Mars has been in the sign of Pisces, of course, recently. And that has, I think, been stirring up the sediment that's been deep within you around some unresolved issues, possibly around your emotional well-being, past relationships that didn't work out, maybe to do with losses. And that energy of Mars has not necessarily been very easy. And also that potential for that deep stuff to be stirred has been amplified by Mercury's retrograde in this sign, because it's in detriment in Pisces. It loses its clarity, but also it loses that edge around communication. So I think you have had a lot going on deep within you. But of course, because Saturn has moved into your sign, joining up with Neptune, and more recently Venus, and Chiron has been in your sign since March 2019. There is an emerging energy developing in your sign, which the sun will complement from the day after this. But this energy here, this backdrop, suggests that if you feel you're transitioning in your life, but particularly around things like releasing what's no longer serving your greater good, or it's possible that anything to do with healing is calling out to you, or if you have had a role which has been behind the scenes, but it's not really engaging you in the way it was, all of that may be very much in a state of celestial flux. But our position of Mars, though complex and challenging on this event, is in a fantastic link to Jupiter, now traveling forwards in the nurturing sign of Cancer, which of course the moon rules. And because Jupiter traditionally rules the sign of Pisces, we have a mutual receptivity. So Jupiter's receiving Mars. So some of the recent doubts or concerns or angst you may have experienced can now be challenged outwards in a much more productive and more in a more traction gaining way. So you can convert what you've been processing into moving forwards rather than the feeling in a state of inertia. Now, because of Mercury's retrograde, that is going to go direct on the 20th. So that's really good as well. But we just need to be conscious too that the relationship between the sun and the moon are also picking up a wonderful sextile to Uranus. Now, Uranus can be about higher truths. It is the mythological ruler of the sky. But of course, over the last 7 years, It perhaps has seen you earn money in an unusual way, or it may have led to some uncertainties or unpredictability around your income. But if there is a past interest or hobby or skill that you've got that you're wanting to repackage in a new way to earn money, I think over the next month, there is a real chance of working that forward. So I think to summarize from a more emotional and energetic viewpoint, if you have been feeling rather bogged down, perhaps feeling low on physical vitality, that may also be because of Saturn being in your first house, which is about the body. But if these psychological worries or past issues, or just feeling a bit overwhelmed by life have been quite profound, that link between Mars and Jupiter is going to give you the extra energy to actually move forward, but not rejecting your sensitivities and vulnerabilities, but embracing them. If you have been having some delicate conversations or doing some research behind the scenes, or just thinking very deeply about something that may need to come to an end, Mercury going direct will help that too. And then if you're wanting to approach something using those old talents and skills to bring new streams of income into your world, that's looking very positive as well. Now, one of the great things about this being essentially a transition between the energies of Pisces and the embrace of the roar of the sun moving into your sign, because that's where he is exalted. So it's his second favorite sign after Leo, is that we have Venus in your sign, which has gone beyond that challenging conjunction to Saturn particularly. On this event, Venus is forging a tremendous link to the path of fortune in Sagittarius. And I think what could happen for you is once you make some firm decisions, which are going to happen over the next month, and you're making that move from that very deep reflection and processing and releasing into much more of the present, which will come with the vernal equinox, I think over the next 4 weeks, the chances are you will definitely travel somewhere. If you aren't able to do it physically, you can certainly do it in your mind, but you can also think afresh about your identity. It really is a time of huge shifts and change, but particularly for your sign in particular. So, in terms of relationships, what do I see for you? If you're in a relationship which is very naturally empathetic and atmospherically supportive, in other words, you don't always have to tell the other people in your world how you're feeling, because as soon as you speak to them on the phone, they get it. Or you have someone who's just naturally picks up on your mood, goes and makes you a cup of tea. This is going to be a positive new moon. But if you are in a romantic relationship which isn't working very well for you, particularly around the emotional or nurturing dimension, I think you may be seriously considering bringing it to a close. That could be true of work as well, to be perfectly honest, because Pluto's in a part of your chart that's very much about your future. And Saturn, very much to do with your body and your resources, is in a link with Pluto. So there is a sense that something is shifting where you need to get your immediate world working a bit more structured and a bit more functional in order to feed that long-term need. So to summarize, for relationships, it can be very positive. It could be more challenging. For work, I feel there is a chance to use old skills, knowledge, and experiences in a new way, which then can feed into your finances in a very positive way too. Venus is the planet of money. It is in a square with Jupiter. But know if you have got an instinct to do something, perhaps converting a hobby, even at home, into something that gives you a little bit of extra money, that Venus in that square with Jupiter can actually be quite fortunate. It's been a pleasure being with you. If you've yet to watch your Venus in Aries deep dive video, please see that on the screen. If you've yet to watch your Mars in Pisces deep dive video, please see that on the screen. And if you'd like to work with me one-to-one, please see my testimonials below. You can also get your free daily horoscope fired to your device each morning. Please see the link below for that. And if you'd like to order your personal horoscopes, great value, very accurate, totally unique for each person they're produced for. The Life Roadmap will give you searing insights, and the forecast help you to time your moves. And if you apply Astro 26 at the checkout for your natal and Draco 26 at the checkout for your Draconic or Soul Karmic charts, you will get that 50% off. All the best, Aries, and goodbye.